Hello and welcome. Think back to the last time you saw a vocational training center, perhaps an ITI, Industrial Training Institute, here in India. What did you picture? Grease stained floors, a row of traditional lathes, students learning welding or basic electrical wiring? For decades, that was the blueprint. Vocational training, or TVET as we call it globally, was treated as a static pipeline. It took young minds and turned them into specialized blue collar cogs for a traditional manufacturing machine. But as we sit here in 2026, that machine is being completely dismantled. We are living through a period of twin disruptions: a massive global green transition driven by climate realities, and an unprecedented digital revolution fueled by generative AI. Today, the very contours of what we call a skill are shifting beneath our feet. We are not just training mechanics anymore. We are training EV lithium battery diagnosticians, and that's a huge shift. We aren't just training data entry clerks, we are training AI prompt operators. In this podcast, we are trying to dive deep into how these changing global goals are disrupting vocational training in India. More importantly, we are asking the critical question: is the Indian system actually prepared to absorb this massive shock wave? Let's look at the anatomy of the shift first. If you examine the vocational landscape today, the disruption is happening in two fascinating ways, according to me. First, there is a birth of what I call as native green and tech roles. These are jobs that simply did not exist a decade ago. Think of solar photovoltaic technicians, or green hydrogen operators, or edge computing maintainers. These are highly specialized, technically dense positions born directly out of India's aggressive green energy targets. But the second and arguably more profound shift is what experts call the greening and AI-fying of traditional trades. Take a standard HVAC heating, ventilation, and air conditioning technician. Today, a modern commercial skyscraper doesn't just run on compressors, it runs on smart AI driven climate control loops designed to minimize carbon footprints. The technician on the ground needs to know how to interpret data anomalies flagged by an algorithm, not just turn a wrench. What this means is that the historical premium on the psychomotor skills, sheer manual dexterity, is giving way to a premium on cognitive plus technical bundling, if you will. In behavior economics, we call this adaptive capacity. It is the ability of a frontline worker to take data insights, adapt on the fly, and apply them to a physical system. The line between white collar data analysis and blue collar execution, in my view, is blurring into a single fluid spectrum, if you will. So, the $1,000,000 question, how is India handling this? If you look at the policy blueprints coming out of New Delhi, the architecture is incredibly sophisticated. I must tell this upfront. The state had realized that the old supply driven model, where the government decides what to teach based on 20-year-old textbooks, is broken, thrown out of the window. Instead, we are seeing a pivot towards a highly dynamic public private ecosystem. Take the PM Setu initiative, the Pradhan Mantri Skilling and Employability Transformation through upgraded ITIs. In my view, this is a massive structural overhaul targeting 1,000 government ITIs across the country. But here is the kicker. It is built on a hub and spoke cluster model that is government owned but industry managed. By bringing in private sector giants to manage these hubs, the equipment on the floor finally matches the tech being used in real world factories. Simultaneously, platforms like the Skill India Digital Hub and initiatives like Skilling for AI Readiness have managed to scale digital modules to nearly 500,000 learners. And specialized bodies like the Skill Council for Green Jobs are working hard, hand in hand, with the public sector energy giants to co-author, co-design entirely new national qualification frameworks. On paper, the ready levers are in place, but as in any policy analyst will tell you, a beautiful blueprint does not equal a finished building. To be blunt, the execution on the ground faces, in my view, massive structural friction. And if you are looking at where the system might slutter, there are, in my view, three major bottlenecks stand out. The first is what I call the trainer dilemma. We can update a curriculum on a laptop in New Delhi in 5 minutes. But how do you upskill tens of thousands of vocational instructors across rural India who have been teaching standard internal combustion engines for 30 years, while TOT or trainer of trainers programs are rolling out? Bridging this institutional knowledge gap is slow generational process. The human element remains our major bottleneck. The second issue is a massive capital expenditure gap. Building a traditional classroom requires a blackboard and desks. Building an EV diagnostic lab or a smart grid simulation center requires millions of rupees in high-tech infrastructure. While the top-tier ITIs upgraded under the PM Setu will definitely thrive, what happens to thousands of private lower tier and rural vocational centers? They risk falling into a severe quality deficit, widening the divide between the urban tech hubs and the rural centers. How are we going to bridge the gap? Finally, there is what I call as the informality paradox. Nearly 90% of India's workforce operates in the informal economy. The roadside mechanic, the local construction hands, the smallholder farmers. Formal institutional TVET frameworks excel at training students who walk through their doors for a 1 year, 2 year course. But how do we deliver bite-sized, micro-credentialed upskilling to an informal workforce that needs AI driven, say, agricultural data or solar pump maintenance skills today without leaving their livelihoods. This transitional layer, which is so very critical for bridging the gap, is, in my view, still missing. And therefore, what's the conclusion? And what's the takeaway? Let's bring all this together. Is the Indian vocational system prepared to absorb the massive twin shocks of climate change and artificial intelligence? The honest answer is conceptually yes. Practically, it's a race against time. India has successfully aligned its skilling policies with its macroeconomic goals, whether it is the National Green Hydrogen Mission or global semiconductor ambitions. The institutional shift from rigid, isolated trades to modular, industry backed competencies is exactly the right move, no doubt. However, the ultimate success of the transformation won't be measured by the sophistication of our digital portals or the number of MOUs, and we are obsessed with signing of MOUs day in and day out. Don't believe me? Look at your LinkedIn posts on a daily basis. It will be measured by the speed at which we can upgrade the instructor in tier 3 town, the affordability of the equipment in a rural lab, and our ability to break formal training down into accessible modular pieces for the millions of workers navigating the informal economy. Thank you very much.